A warm welcome to the session on practice of making buttonholes by hand. At the end of the session, you will be able to prepare 1 bar 1 fan buttonhole by hand, prepare a corded keyhole buttonhole by hand, prepare a bound buttonhole by hand, cut and stitch shirt or pant buttonholes by zigzag machine.
Tools and equipments required: zigzag machine 1 number, hand needle 1 number, chalk or pencil 1 number, scissors 1 number, measuring tape 1 number, thread as required, fabric as required. Buttonhole scissor buttonholes. Buttonholes are created as one of the last steps in stitching garments. In ladies' garments, the buttonholes are worked on the right side. In men's garments, they are worked on the left-hand side. In fitted garments, the buttonholes are horizontal, and in loose garments, buttonholes are vertical. A buttonhole is constructed with 2 long sides and 2 ends. Buttons can be stitched with machine as well as by hand. Hand-worked buttonholes are stronger than the machine-worked buttonholes but take more time. Prepare 1 bar 1 fan buttonhole by hand. Take 2 pieces of 15 cm by 15 cm. Cover one by the other congruently in wrap direction with wrong sides together and stitch around with machine, leaving 1 cm seam allowances from all edges. For marking position of buttonhole, draw a line of 15 mm with chalk at the center of the stitched piece in wrap direction. This line is called slash line. Place a row of machine stitches around the slash line, 2 mm away from the slash line. Set the buttonhole scissor according to the buttonhole. Then cut the slash line with buttonhole scissors using 1 thread of fabric as a guide. Note: scissors must be sharp and pointed. Overcast the raw edges of the slit by hand with single thread, keeping 3 stitches per centimeter and length of 2 mm. Hold the fabric by left hand and start filling the overcasted edge from one end by buttonhole stitches covering the machine stitched line. Take the stitches close side by side at a regular distance, maintaining even tension in each stitch. Take suitable thick thread or twisted double thread. Note: machine stitches must be approximately 6 stitches per 1 cm. At the outer end, spread 5 to 7 stitches in fan shape. Fill the remaining cut by buttonhole stitches. On the end, make 2 stitches taking full width of both worked out edges for bar tacking. Fill bar tack stitches by buttonhole stitches. Note: while filling bar tacks with buttonhole stitches, the needle should catch one thread of the previous buttonhole stitches of either side. Dip the needle in the end of bar tack to the underside of the cloth and make 2 locking stitches catching bar tack thread and few threads of cloth. Trim the thread. Repeat the process for practice and perfection. Note: after you have gained perfection, there is no need of setting a stitch line around the slash line. Prepare a corded keyhole buttonhole by hand. Take 2 pieces of cloth 15 cm by 15 cm. Mark the buttonhole position at the center of the piece. Punch a hole of approximately 2 mm diameter with a stiletto at the right end of marking. Machine stitch around the buttonhole mark 2 mm away from the slash line and the hole. Cut on the marking with scissors up to the end of mark. Use a length of cord to fit loosely around the buttonhole. Knot it at the ends and secure with pin. Overcast over the cord. Keep the cord within 2 mm from the slashed edge. Turn the fabric so that you start to work out the buttonhole from right lower side. Work out the buttonhole in the similar process of 1 fan 1 bar buttonholes covering the cord and maintain the straight edge of cut and the round of hole. Make bar tack in the end. Note: hold both ends of the cord, remove the pin, pull slightly and cut off the excess cord before filling the bar tacks. Repeat the process for practice and perfection. Prepare a bound buttonhole by hand. Cut 2 pieces of cloth 15 cm by 15 cm. Stitch together on the all 4 edges as done for other buttonholes. Cut 1 lip piece of same cloth 6 cm long and 5 cm wide. Mark buttonhole position on the center of the big piece 3 cm long along the grain line on the wrong side of the cloth. Make the running stitch on the mark. Extend the stitches by 2 cm on each side of the mark, which will appear on the right side of the cloth. With the right sides together, place the center of the lip piece on the buttonhole mark, keeping 6 cm long side of lip piece along the buttonhole length mark. Maintain the middle position. Pin 4 corners of the lip piece with original piece. Take care that the lip piece remains extended by 1.5 cm on both ends of the mark. Paste all round 0.5 cm away from the edge. On the wrong side, mark 2 lines with pencil 3 mm away on either sides of the buttonhole mark. Start stitching on the marks from the middle of one side and make a rectangle. Overlap few stitches over the starting point. Slash layers on the buttonhole mark with a sharp pointed scissors, leaving 0.75 cm from each end. Clip diagonally all 4 corners. Turn the lip piece on the wrong side through the hole. To square the corners, pull the ends of the lip piece tightly so that the corners come out clean. Push forward the lip cloth towards center line by 3 mm, forming lip and best on it slightly away from the ditch of seam on the right side. Cut and stitch shirt or pant buttonholes by zigzag machine. Take 1 piece of cloth 15 cm by 15 cm on double as taken in 1 fan 1 bar buttonhole. Determine the size of buttonhole length 14 mm and the effective length of buttonhole, that is 10 mm, and mark on the cloth on wrap direction. Setting the machine. Set zigzag holing foot in the place of presser foot. Set needle position with selector. Set stitch width selector at 1.5 mm width. Place marked piece under needle, aligning center marking of buttonhole with slot in the presser foot. Position the needle in the fabric at point A. Lower the foot and stitch to the end of marking up to point B. Drop the needle in the fabric at point B. Make a stitch of 2 mm from point B to point C. Adjust the stitch regulator for reverse stitch. Stitch the other side of the buttonhole back to starting point. Adjust the stitch width selector for bar tack at 3.5 mm. Make 6 stitches. At the end, Make a double stitch for strengthening, or leave 2 cm long thread and make a knot at underside. Take out the fabric and finish the bar tack in the same way as at the other end. Remove the cloth from the machine and trim the loose thread. Slash in the center with seam ripper or pointed sharp scissors. Repeat the process in the same way. Recap.
In this session, we have learnt how to prepare 1 bar 1 fan button hole by hand, how to prepare a corded keyhole button hole by hand, how to prepare bound button hole by hand, how to cut and stitch shirt or pant buttonholes by zigzag machine. Hope you have understood all the concepts in this session. See you in the next session with a new concept. Thank you.